Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful town named Oakwood, there stood an old, eerie mansion known as Blackwood Manor. The mansion had a long history of unknown secrets and tragic tales. Many whispers circulated among the villagers, warning of the malevolent spirits that resided within its walls. In the heart of winter, when a thick blanket of snow covered the town, a young and adventurous couple, Mark and Emily, decided to move into the infamous Blackwood Manor. Ignorant of its haunting reputation, they were captivated by the mansion's grandeur, envisioning a bright future within its Gothic architecture. However, little did they know the horrors that awaited them. Their arrival in Oakwood was greeted with a chilling wind that cut through their winter coats, sending shivers down their spines. It was as if the town itself was warning them, but they paid it no mind. The townsfolk whispered words of caution, and their eyes reflected a mix of pity and fear. Determined to make their mark in the town, Mark and Emily brushed off the warnings as mere superstitions. The couple's first night in their new home brought an unholy darkness that enveloped the entire mansion. The creaking of the floorboards and the howling wind outside were soon accompanied by strange sounds that echoed through the halls. Whispering voices seemed to call their names from unseen corners, and something scratched at the doors with a haunting persistence. Fear began to creep into their hearts, but they convinced themselves it was just their imagination running wild. They assured each other that old houses often carried odd noises, and they attributed the mysterious happenings to the settling of the house and the eerie ambience created by the winter storm outside. Days turned to weeks, and the couple's dreams of a happy home began to crumble. The whispers evolved into haunting voices, some laced with sorrow and others brimming with anger. Shadows grew bolder, dancing and writhing within their peripheral vision, disappearing whenever they turned to look. Objects moved on their own, and shattered glass littered the floor, leaving them bewildered and frightened. The paintings on the walls seemed to take on a life of their own, distorting into grotesque figures before their eyes. Desperation engulfed Mark and Emily as they sought help from paranormal investigators and priests. A team of experts was summoned, armed with their instruments and prayers, desperately hoping to cleanse the malevolent force from the mansion. But each attempt seemed to anger whatever dark entity lurked within Blackwood Manor. The haunting intensified, tormenting them relentlessly and driving them closer to the edge of despair. Sleep became a distant memory for the couple. Dark circles painted under their eyes, a physical reminder of the exhaustion that consumed them. The line between reality and nightmare blurred, making it impossible to discern the true horrors from their sleep-deprived hallucinations. The spirits, sensing their vulnerability, intensified their torment, pushing them to the brink of madness. With their sanity hanging by a thread, Mark and Emily clung to each other in a desperate bid to survive. But even love and determination couldn't protect them from the horrors that awaited within Blackwood Manor. Death seemed to linger in the air, whispering promises of release from their torment. As the days turned to months, the couple's spirits began to fade, becoming mere shells of their former selves. The once vibrant and full of life Mark and Emily were now trapped, prisoners of the evil that dwelled within the walls of Blackwood Manor. Their eyes haunted, their laughter replaced by mournful weeping. One fateful night, when the moon shrouded itself in a thick veil of darkness, Mark and Emily's spirits succumbed to the darkness that had embraced them for so long. Their lifeless bodies were found the next morning, their faces etched in utter horror. The townsfolk gathered around Blackwood Manor, their faces reflecting sorrow and fear. They knew that their souls were forever bound to the cursed mansion, unable to find peace even in death. Blackwood Manor, with its dark secrets and tragic history, stood as an eternal reminder of the darkness that can consume even the strongest of souls. From that day on, the mansion remained empty and forgotten, its halls eerily silent, its rooms frozen in time. Only the chilling wind cut through its corridors, carrying haunting whispers that echoed the tragedy that had unfolded within. The horrors of Blackwood Manor were a tale never to be forgotten, a testament to the lurking shadows that exist within the deepest depths of the human psyche, waiting for the opportune moment to consume and destroy. And so, the legend of Blackwood Manor lives on, terrifying all who dare to speak its name, and reminding us of the fragility of our own mortal souls.